What's up, everybody? It's Crystal Lewis back at you again with another video in the All About That Tech Pack series. That by the end of this, my journey and some of my struggles and some of my triumphs will be encouraging to you and maybe even help you as you are also going over some of these hurdles in your own journeys to starting a clothing line. So without further ado, here it goes. So my journey starts off from 2002 to 2007 when I went to school at Texas Women's University. I had some great professors that really poured into me and taught me a wonderful foundation that started me out on the road to fashion design. So when you first go to college, you really have this idea in your head that you're going to be making beautiful clothes by hand. You're going to be sitting at a sewing machine and you're going to be sewing wonderful things for the world to wear. Now, that is obviously a career path in this field as a sample maker or even as an independent designer designing for clients. But for me, that really just kind of set the foundation for learning about textiles that I now use in my career, learning about construction that I also still use in my career, and color theory, that sort of thing. So it was a good foundation for me because I don't actually sit at a sewing machine, hardly ever. If I do, it's for personal projects. But I would just say to anyone that is in school, don't be discouraged if you are wanting to pursue this passion of yours to create things. Just know that there are a lot of different facets of the apparel design industry, and you may not be behind a sewing machine all day, every day, but you can still forge a path in this career, in this industry, doing something you love with your passions. It just may not look exactly the way you think it will when you're in school. All right, so the next part of my journey really goes into my industry experience. So along the way, I have worked for several employers. I'll just go ahead and name them. Panhandle Slim, BioWorld Merchandising. I worked for Pinpoint Merchandising and Mad Engine, and lastly, Hager. I just kind of want to talk about my industry journey when I was in the apparel design industry. So the first 5 years of my career, I worked at a small Western wear company, and that's where I learned how to create a sample line. So tech packs, some factory communication, and a lot of styling, fabric design, that sort of thing. So I really got a foundation for how to make a sample working at Panhandle Slim. Then the next part of my journey was at BioWorld Merchandising, and that's where I really got to dig into factory sourcing, and that's where I got my knowledge of graphic design and just really cool design techniques. Next, I moved to Pinpoint, and that's where I met my now friend and colleague, Scott Graham. He gave me the foundation for working with startup brands and low MOQ. That was a whole new world for me. Before, I'd spent 10 years of my career only mass producing. I didn't realize that there was a way to do low MOQ anything. So Scott kind of set the foundation for me there, and that was also my first design opportunity, because before that, there really is a difference between technical design and creative design, but I had never gotten to do the creative before. I was always taking someone else's ideas and getting them made at the factory, but at Pinpoint, that was the first time I got to be in the driver's seat creatively. So another really major takeaway that I have to highlight is that I still keep in touch with the mentors that I met at all of these places, and they helped me through some of the rough patches that I go through with Black Unicorn. So when I first started out, I had experience with textile design, with tech packs, with factory sourcing, sampling, that sort of thing. But I had no experience when it came to placing a purchase order and logistics. But you know what I did have? I had people in my arsenal. I had people in my corner that I could call that I would never have met if I hadn't actually worked in the industry. So definitely when you're in the office, it's not just about doing your job. It's about networking. And when I say, network, which you'll hear in some of my other videos, that's what I'm talking about. You are surrounded by a wealth of knowledge. Every single person in that building is good at something. That's why they were hired to do what they do. And it would be in your best interest to get to know them, because that might be a mentor that you call on one day when you're running your own business. All right, moving on to the next part of my journey, which is when the pandemic came and blew all of our lives up and we all had to figure out what on earth we were going to do. So I feel like that's an important part of my journey because I was forced to do a lot of self-reflection. And at the end of it, I realized that a lot of things that were really important to me before the pandemic really just kind of no longer applied. And it made me a stronger wife, a stronger mom, and a real entrepreneur, a real business owner. Because I went from kind of dabbling in Black Unicorn, once a week or so on the weekends, to really forcing myself to sit down whenever I had 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, and knock out a sketch, knock out a tech pack, get on the phone with the factories at 5 o'clock in the morning when it's nice and quiet in the house. Like that, again, is another massive growth moment for me personally and for my business. So I feel like this would be a good opportunity to just give a very short plug for the Tech Pack mini course. As I mentioned, there's so many things that I had to learn, that I had to do to get where I am. I didn't even talk about my journey as an independent designer when I was first out of college, just like desperately trying to figure out how do you start a clothing line, and trying everything from sewing it myself, after work into the wee hours of the night, to talking to factories that I found online about, getting samples made, and then just constantly hitting wall after wall when you realize how expensive it is and there's no one to hold your hand. The goal is to arm and equip you with the information you need to be a brand owner. And that is exactly what the Tech Pack mini course does. If you take this course, when you take this course, you will learn the ins and outs of what a tech pack needs to be so that a factory can understand and interpret your needs and make your line of apparel. So take a minute, click the link below, head over to Black Unicorn Merchandising, blackunicornmerch.com, and check out our courses. It is one of many that I've got in the pipeline. Definitely leave a comment down below. I would love to hear what other things you guys would like to learn. So if you've watched this video, you know that I am a wealth of knowledge in a lot of different facets. So what should my next video be? I'd love to hear from you. If you are interested in starting with Black Unicorn as a client, head over again to the website, blackunicornmerch.com, and go over to the Contact Us section, fill out the survey, and it will take you to a place where you can schedule your free consultation. And then we can have a little chat and figure out exactly what I can do to help you along your journey to being a brand owner. Until next time, have a great day and take care of yourself. Bye.